Just pulled back up here. This is where an old building was that burnt down. Really big, long building. So, here to pick up that pickup truck that I was talking about. It was in behind this bush. But his neighbor has a tractor, so he pulled it out with the tractor for me. Put it on a driveway here. It's not much of a driveway. It's when they put out the fire, they sprayed a shitload of water, and the whole driveway just got completely destroyed from the trucks driving in it and all of the water. So the driveway's pretty rough. Pulled right back up to this thing. I have to try to see what we can do. It's obviously not going to fit in the trailer as it is. And I'm just hoping that the trailer is wide enough to fit this front cab. My original plan was thinking cut the front cab off because it's just 2 pieces of frame and a drive shaft. So cut those, and then the whole front cab I should be able to put in one piece. I measured it. Looks like it's going to be a tight fit, but it looks like it should fit. When they tried to pull it out of the bush with the tractor, the whole truck snapped in half because he couldn't pull it backwards because it was buried so far. So he stuck the tractor underneath it, tried to lift it up out of the ground, and when he lifted it, it just snapped in half. And then once it was out of the ground a bit more, they pulled it forward, and the whole rear axle ripped right off of it. So that kind of changes the plans. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to drag this thing, even if it's split into 2 pieces. So just going to have to see what we can do with the winch. Might have to go back and get the block and tackle for the winch, double up the power. Not exactly sure what I'm going to start with right this second. You see, like, this one side of the frame snapped right in half. So it looks like it's pretty much detached right there. The other side is still attached though. So what I'm going to do is come in with the Sawzall and just cut this back rack off. Cut it off here. So there's 4 posts in total. Cut all 4 of those, get this out of the way. Then I can get in here with the Sawzall, cut the remainder of the frame, and probably try to cut the drive shaft right in half as well. If I can cut it in half, then I'll attach the winch, try to pull this away from this piece. If I could get this loaded up into the trailer by itself, that'd be a good start. And then I'll have to figure this out. If it's too big, I may have to start cutting it. Hopefully I don't have to cut it up too much because this is solid steel, this whole bed. So I definitely don't want to have to be cutting the whole bed in half. We'll go ahead and cut some of it up and just take it one step at a time. Just this rear axle is fucking heavy as shit. Stacked rear end. How many leaves are there? Quite rotted away. I figured some people might want to have a look at the actual truck itself though. I think it's a 1978 F350. Something like that, somewhere around there. Gonna have to look around good in here. Love searching through old cars and seeing what you can find. Suction line filter. A lot of the stuff in here is like HVAC pieces, but nice chunk of brass. Gonna be cleaning all that stuff out. Last time I was here, there was some pretty serious wasp nests in here. Guess they cleared out a bit. Hood opens up good. Really was debating trying to grab some parts off of this truck, but I'm really backed up right now. Everything I got is overflowing. Got way too much stuff, way too many projects on the go. Spring's just starting. So I think it's going right to the scrapyard just as it is. One of the fenders looked like it was original, the other one looked like a, yeah, this might be their rebuilt one. Doesn't look like the original. Yeah, this side was the original one, I think. It's pretty rotted out. Oh. There's two of these things. I heard they go bad. Quite common for them to go bad, so that's probably why there's two of them in there. The store's all dented in. It's from the tractor. I'm surprised it's still open. Old school trailer brake. I don't even know what this is. Household products. Quit eating? What is this thing talking about? Anti-mildew. Anti-worm. Wonder what that is off of. Gonna have to try to have a good look around. See if I can't see underneath the seats. Look at that. It's an old school monkey wrench, I guess. I'm gonna keep that. That's what I mean, you gotta really look through these things, especially old ones. You can find some really cool old stuff. Oh yeah, and there's that piece of an old tractor. I forget what it's called. It's like a bush hog, I think it's called. It goes on the back of the tractor just to cut the grass. Pretty heavy piece itself. Just that piece has got to be over 1,000 pounds. So, definitely going to be taking at least 2 trips. Hopefully this won't take too long. Hopefully we can get 1 trip to the scrapyard, come back, either get a second trip loaded up or get everything loaded up, and I can leave it in the truck and trailer until the morning. Take it in the morning. And if I got to, then I'll come back for a 3rd load again. The biggest issue is once you get one piece in the trailer with the winch, you can't really run the winch cable over top of it. Sometimes I can run it underneath of it. I know I could probably use some sort of roller system and put the winch cable over a roller, but I'm not going to be using this trailer for too much longer anyways for winching stuff too much, because I'm going to looking into buying my own tilt and load real soon. So try to get these couple jobs done, and then should be able to get stuff sorted. Hopefully get my proper trailer. Okay, better get started here. Pull the winch cable out. A couple come-alongs to use as backup. And I got my pry bar right here. Nice big 6-foot pry bar. Right this second, I'm just gonna use this pry bar, try to straighten that wheel out first. See if it turns. Should spin a little bit, need some nice leverage. And then start cutting that back rack off. So I'll update you guys in a little bit to get to work. Okay, so first I cut off this back rack. It's pretty easy to cut, but it was pretty serious steel on there. So just this back rack alone is like, it's got to be 200 pounds or more. Doesn't look like much, but it's pretty thick gauge steel, so it's heavy. So when I cut that, I started cutting the exhaust pipe, the drive shaft, and it kept pinching the blade really hard because it's bending in. So I used the jack to lift it up a little bit. When I put the winch on, just pulled a little bit just to give it some pressure. And it turns out pretty much like the frame's broken right there, but the whole bottom frame should come off with it. Right this second, like that was loose. I don't know if it's tight now. Yeah, now it's nice and tight because I jacked it up a bit. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut that. It's the easiest way. This one's a little bit tight on there too. So I could probably cut this one too. Yeah, it'll be best to cut it anyways because I don't want to leave this on here. When I try to drag it onto the winch, these will get caught in the dirt like crazy. So it's better to have it as flat as possible anyways. So I'll go ahead and cut these two. And you should be able to pull it out. Yeah, I'm gonna cut those before I keep winching it all. So grab the Sawzall, start cutting it, and I'll update you once I finish those two cuts. Try to winch it forward. Actually pretty hot out here today. It's a little bit chilly this morning, but as the sun comes out and you start moving around, it gets hot real quick. So cut that one and cut the front one. As soon as I cut the front one, the frame fell away from the bed, the deck. So now, I think I pretty much should be able to just pull it forward. Start winching on it and see what gets caught. Go. Something let loose. Just dragging the wheel. Need to remember to get a piece of plywood on the ramp before it hits the ramp, otherwise it likes to get caught up on the mesh screen a lot. Okay, so looks like it's pulling the bottom frame with it. So that should be okay. I got the other side propped up on a cement block. Not really a cement block, it's like a planter. Hopefully these things will hold it up enough so I can get this part out. Not sure what it's caught on right now. Jack's as high as it can go, so just gonna have to keep pulling on it a bit and make a mark here so I can know where the bed is, see if it's sliding. Off center too, so I'm gonna have to, best option at this point will be grab the winch cable, put it on this side somehow, pull it this way a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and get the pieces of plywood, put them on the ramp, switch the cable over that side, pull in a little bit more, see how that goes. Plywood's on, cable's on the left side of the truck instead. Whole truck needs to be wedged this way quite a bit more. Yeah, unfortunately, the whole thing's moving forward, so I'm gonna have to try to jack this up a bit more, figure out where it's held on to the back. Once I get it loose of this, should have no problem pulling it in, so figure this out and then go from there. Got it completely detached now, so this bottom frame should just slide right out. Hopefully we can get it to slide right into the trailer. Still has to come over this way quite far. See if the winch has enough to pull it. If it pulls it over enough, it just slowly pulls it over because it's on an angle. We'll slowly pull it over. If it's not enough, I'm gonna have to grab the jack. It's probably the easiest way. Jack it up, use the long pry bar, pry it a bit while it's jacked up, and it will shimmy this way. Right now, go ahead and try to winch this in. Yep, definitely got to shimmy it this way a bit. Let me try to get that done now. So I jacked it up by the front bumper. Couldn't get it to shimmy to the side with the bar, so luckily I was able to manage to turn the wheel. Otherwise I would have had to rearrange the whole truck and trailer to be perfectly in front of it. But dropped it back down, turned the wheels to the right, winched it in a little bit. Now it's pretty straight. Just go a little bit at a time. Pretty good. Pulled this whole piece out. So it's going in pretty straight. You just keep pulling it. Should straighten itself out quite a bit. Might have to turn the wheels to the right a little bit. It's gonna hit here for sure, so hopefully when it hits there, it's able to straighten itself out a little bit without damaging the wall on the trailer. Oh, not attached under there by anything. It'd be nice if I could pull this stuff over this way. If there was something to attach to over here, I could use my come along, pull it a little bit this way. Definitely don't think I'll be able to budge it by hand at all. Maybe with the pry bar. Shit's rotted really bad though. Actually starting to bend the super heavy duty pry bar. I don't think it's gonna slide sideways at all. The winch in the trailer should straighten it out by itself. I'm gonna give this a try quick, see if I can make it budge. If not, we'll go ahead and keep winching. Okay, so I was only able to like shimmy it the tiniest little bit. Let's see what happens when we keep winching. It's hitting right on the door right there. Got caught right in there. If it hit the door instead of right in the crack, it would have slid it by itself. So now, gotta get the pry bar, stick it under here, shimmy it just so it gets past this. Hopefully at least, right? Got it past the door. Just past it. It's a mix of using the pry bar, rocking it back and forth, and keeping pressure on the winch. Just to shimmy it past that corner. Doing it again. Way too wedged on that side. So I switched the winch cable over to that side. Rim is rubbing against the side of the wall. Cable's pretty tight. If I can manage to open this door at all. A couple wasp nests inside there, so they don't really seem to like it. Go ahead and try to turn the wheel a bit just so it's not dragging so much. Guess I can't really reach there, so. Easy access. Obviously no power steering or nothing. Oh, but it just blew it. Yeah, I think we just... Oh no, it's still attached. I guess I should turn it a bit more, make it face the right side a bit more. Pretty badass old truck. Now, straighten the wheel. Keep it straight. I know it's time consuming, a little bit repetitive, but do what you gotta do to make it work. Steering wheel's fucked. Whole steering column. Clearly it's fried. Did I just turn it the wrong way? I think so. It gets frustrating trying to work while holding the camera the whole time. Okay, I think that's good enough for now. And of course, my 2x6s are in the way. Tin full of goodies I found in the trailer. I don't know if I put it in there or if my buddy put it in there, because I got a bunch of junk and I just threw it in. I didn't look at it, but some pins, it looks like some coins, all sorts of stuff in that tin. Just about threw it at the scrapyard. Okay. Should be good to winch it right in now. It's heavy for one-handed. Not thinking straight. Why didn't I move this in the first place? It's all good. Just have to pull it in a bit more. This whole piece is so rotted that it will just bend anyways. So just pull it in another, what, 2 feet. And we can get ready to strap it down. Just do this one piece for now. Come back, deal with this and that other piece there. Not exactly sure how I'm going to approach doing this yet, or if I'm going to do one trip for this and one trip for that. It would be nice if I could get it all in on a second trip. Just a little bit of scrap piled up by the front too, just little bits and pieces. So I'll throw the extra bits and pieces in with it, and should be good to go real soon. Thing's got to have some decent weight to it. Once it gets too close, it really starts to pull like vertically instead of horizontally. So sometimes you gotta readjust the winch, like change the cable, put a chain down lower on like the bottom side of it, and then attach it so it's pulling more straight, horizontal, not vertical. That might be good. Pull it in 6 more inches, might as well. There we go. Second half of it. I'll just bend that piece in, it's super rotted. Stronger than it looks. I'll still bend it in. I got a hammer where I can probably kick it a little bit harder. Get this piece bent off. It's looking good. Let's get this wrapped up, get to the scrapyard before they close. Maybe grab a bite to eat and then rush back here. Try to get as much done today as possible. So I'll try to update you guys as I'm heading out of here. Once I get everything finished loading up and strapped down. If I forget to update you as I'm leaving here, I'll update you at the scrapyard. Maybe try to get a video of the crane picking this thing up out of the truck. Okay, I'll update you in a bit. Thanks for watching, everybody. Almost forgot my old school monkey wrench.